Women's mental health is more connected to hormonal changes and life stages. Have you ever wondered why women experience more mental health challenges than men? In this episode, we get to discuss the role of hormones and life stages in a woman's entire life. Welcome to Woman Talk with Shironas. And this is our first episode, which is Understanding Women's Mental Health. Welcome. If I may ask you, what is mental health? Uh-huh. Yes, you're right. Mental health can be defined as emotional, psychological, and social well being. Mental health in women is different and unique from men because of the following factors. Number one, biological factors. Women's brains are always and entirely responding to the hormonal changes in each stage of their lives. This always affects their mood, their energy, and leads to stress. Let us analyze the cycle of a woman's life. So from childhood, this woman transitions from childhood to adolescent period. This is the first stage where the woman gets to experience hormonal changes, which leads mostly to their stress and instability of their mental health. At the adolescent period, there is so much hormonal development, there is changes in their body, there is growth of the breast, there is development of acne in their skin tone gets to change a lot to most of the women or the girls. And most of the time, an adolescent girl will always feel unsafe because of these changes that are occurring in their body. And the worst thing that occurs in an adolescent girl and leads to a lot of stress is the start of the menstruation period. Women, let's talk about the premenstrual syndrome and the postmenstrual syndrome. A lot of women can tell us in the comment section how they often suffer. I myself, I mostly suffer from the post-menstrual syndrome. Like 2 days after my menstrual period, I always have like a burnout and I feel joint pains, I feel so sick, I feel like my mental health is not okay. I feel so overwhelmed. That is post-menstrual syndrome for me. And for you there, you can relate to this, the premenstrual cycle or syndrome and the postmenstrual syndrome. So at this age, this girl is already exposed to some mental health challenges just because of these hormonal changes and because of this um, natural process that is occurring in their lives. Not also to forget about cramps. Those who always have severe cramps during their menstrual periods. Some of you have to sleep the whole day. Some of you cannot even take anything. You cannot eat, you cannot drink anything. Some of you have to even take medication. Most of you also even need some medical attention, like you have to go to the hospital and even get some injections just to make sure it calms your cramps or your period pain. So this already is trauma in this young girl and also in this developing woman. The second stage of a woman's life is transitioning from an adolescent into a teenager. You take your menstrual period, you take all these stresses from an adolescent, you get into a teenager. Talk of the body changes, they continue to deepen. If it is the breast, they continue to enlarge more. If it is the acne, sometimes it gets to increase when you are a teenager. So this means that this mental health of this girl or of this lady has not yet healed. She was in this stage and yet she's going into another stage of more stress and more mental health challenges. So the teenager period ends at 19 years. So from 19 years, we transition into the third stage of a woman's life, the 20s, the age of 20s. The reason why I am calling it a stage, the 20s, is because the 20s age is the age of confusion, a lot of confusion. Reason because this girl, this lady, was under the care of the parents. This lady was still in school. So meaning she had some guidance. She had some company at school. Maybe you had some girlfriends at school. You have company, you feel safe. But now at 20s, you are out of school. So your parent like considers you as a mature person. So here you are, you're going to the college and universities. Already you feel now, you feel the loss of friends because you will not attend the same college or the same university. So you feel neglected because you feel like your parent is no longer embracing you as a child. Your parent is leaving you to struggle life alone out there. There you go at the college, you meet mature people maybe who probably are used to doing life. Now there you are, you aren't sure. Here are men around you, cute men in college and universities, they want to pursue you. You know, there comes the studies, there comes the conflict and confusion of which how are you going to pursue your course. Sometimes even your parent wants to take you to the college or university, but you are not yet even sure of the course you're going to do there. So already this is a lot of confusion and leads this young lady into some mental health breakdown. Another issue in the age of 20s, you get yourself into a relationship with a man, you get a boyfriend, and then you're in so much in fear because it is still too early. You don't want to be a mother, you don't want to be a young mom at your 20s. So there comes now, you start wondering, what should I do? I am in a relationship, it might be quite difficult for me to abstain. So then you start planning life now because you don't want to get pregnant at this point. And so this fear that you don't want to become a young mom and you're already in a relationship leads you to the fourth stage, my fourth stage of your life as a woman, which is the family planning stage. Mhm. Some of you might tell me that this stage is in already matured women. But no, she's still a young lady. She has already started doing family planning. The reason why this is a stage is because this is a period which have led a lot of us women into mental health breakdown. Reason why. Now let's leave this young girl who doesn't want to get pregnant and maybe starts taking the e-pill. Let's go to us women who are married, who are already in marriage and who already have kids. You are there, you are a mom, you know how your financial status is, you know how your life is, you know how your body feels, you know, like you feel you're not ready to get pregnant again, you're not ready for another child. Then here now you are, you really need to do some family planning, you really need to space your children. So you have your firstborn, you have your secondborn, now you don't want to conceive your thirdborn anytime soon. Now you get into family planning. You try because you're afraid of maybe the natural methods or the condoms. You try the hormonal methods of family planning. And now that is where the mental health issue comes in. Because most of the hormonal methods of family planning are not fit for a lot of women. You might try the pills and then you start adding a lot of weight. You start feeling some headache. You start maybe having some heavy bleeding. You're confused, you're stressed because this, maybe you feel like this is the only option for you to space your children. Now you leave this, you yet again start with another method. Now in between leaving the pills, your body was already responding to these pills, or these pills had already started changing the hormonal pattern in your body. So by the time your body heals, okay, by the time your body maybe get rid of these pills hormones and maybe start again responding to the new family planning method that you go to. Let's take an example of the implanon. So by the time your body is transitioning to this, it is already stressing your body. Like you have a lot of issues, you have some headaches, sometimes other people might have raised blood pressure, others, most of the people will have additional weight and all that, so it is all stressing. You have to be a woman, you have to be a wife, you have to be a mom to these kids, and you got to take care of your own mental health and your own body too. But here now it is, you are trying to save yourself, but now it is like you got yourself into more mess. Like, talk about weight, adding weight. You are 50 kgs, you insert the implanon because you want to save yourself, and now this implanon gets you your weight from 50 to 70 kgs. Now your body image changes, and once your body image changes, your self-esteem goes down, and that is how your mental health becomes distorted and becomes destroyed as a woman. And that is where a lot of us women start to like hate ourselves, and our lives, it is like a turnaround of our lives. We feel like now we are useless, we feel like we are not beautiful anymore, like you have crisis inside yourself. You're like, I am the one who caused this, but now I couldn't have just stayed like that, I couldn't be able to bear another child at this time. So I'm here to tell you that, my dear woman, you are not alone. Now talk about this now young girl who has she hasn't even conceived yet. She has gotten herself into starting family planning, and there outside in the media, in TikTok and wherever, now she goes there and she sees us, the nurses and the doctors, saying, don't start family planning when you have not yet conceived. So this young lady has also started feeling like, I am losing. It's like I'm losing. What if when I'm married, I won't be able to conceive? But here I am. At this point, I cannot break up with my boyfriend. So you start, like, this young girl also starts some intrapersonal conflict between you and yourself. You are like, now, but I need to do family planning because I cannot have a kid, I'm still in college, I've not yet pursued my course, so this is already some mental health breakdown. Okay, so that is the fourth stage of a woman's life. I hope by now you can relate. You can relate why women never have some mental stability, because each stage of our life is full of some hormones which are coming in to bring more tension, to bring more stresses, and to add more to what we already carry in our brains and in our minds. So let's look at the fifth stage of a woman's life. Now, this lady is in college. She was just using family planning because she doesn't want to conceive, because she's still in university, she's still in college. Now she's out of college, she has pursued her course, she has graduated, she's now a woman, she's now almost getting into 30, she's maybe 27, 28, 29, 30 years there. Now she's ready for marriage, and she gets a suitor and she gets married. Now she goes into another stage of life, which is conception. Mhm. Now she's not using family planning because she's now married and she wants children. So she conceives. Once she conceives, that is when she enters the fifth stage of her life, which is pregnancy. Oh my goodness. My fellow women who have had children, I myself, I have two boys. So I don't even want to remember how the two pregnancies were. How the two pregnancies almost, like, the first pregnancy, my first pregnancy was not so bad, but my second pregnancy really took a toll on me. I almost broke down, not only mentally, but also physically, because I had some medical issues. One time, soon I'll share my story with you, so that you see that you're not alone in whatever you're going through, especially for our pregnant women who are pregnant now as you're watching this. Yeah, you are not alone. Whatever you're going through, some of us have gone through that, and we did it, so you can also do it. Let's talk about some hormonal development, some hormonal changes in your body. Here is a pregnancy, there is rise in the progesterone hormone, there is heaviness in your tummy you're not used to, there is talk of hyperemesis gravidarum, the vomiting, the nausea and vomiting. You cannot eat anything. The talk of the first trimester alone, you cannot eat anything. Some of you are just vomiting, you're feeling tired, you're feeling so like you're feeling like you're not yourself at the first trimester. Okay, let's go to the second trimester. By God's grace, you get into the second trimester. Now your body is already responding to the pregnancy. You now kinda your brain, your mind is now relaxed because your body has already adopted to this pregnancy. You start loving yourself again. You start loving the pregnant you know, start even finding the names of your unborn baby, you know, the baby kicks starts, and wow, this is at least a safer period of your mental health. It's a period where you feel you feel you love yourself, and this time now you feel like you love what you're doing, you love the decision you made of becoming a mom, and everything seems wow. Okay, the second trimester. Let's go to the third trimester. There is again a toil. There is some hormonal changes because now the body is preparing into bringing this baby into the world. Now there is the hormonal changes. Then there is tension because now you are approaching labor and you don't know how you're gonna make it through this labor. Also, there is preparation for the baby. You have to do shopping for your baby. You have to travel, maybe go to the market. Maybe financially you're not so well, you know. There is also making decision of which hospital you're going to deliver and all that. Preparation for labor already is a troll. Like it's already taking a toll on your brain, on your mind. It is already affecting you, and it is already stressing. It is stressing. Talk of the heaviness. The pregnancy has grown. It's big. Talk of the heaviness of that pregnancy. You feel like you cannot do your normal chores, even whatever you used to do, wake up in the morning, your routine is distorted. You cannot even be able to take care of yourself well as you used to, the skincare routine. Also, some of us also the face changes with the pregnancy. All of that is already stressing. After pregnancy, now when you get into labor is the sixth stage of a woman's life. I guess this is where we get the peak of our mental breakdown. Labor, childbirth. Talk of labor, talk of the contractions, talk of the vomiting, talk of the pooping in labor ward, talk of the, of feeling neglected by the midwives and the nurses, talk of everything, every sort of whatever happens in the labor ward. This is already another stage of life. Your mental health is still distorted, not okay. Now, talk about those who labor for so long, and then there comes an emergency and you're told, mommy, you cannot be able to make it through a normal delivery. We have to rush you to theater for a CS. Talk of that. Talk of now the stressing of how am I going to get into theater? Will I even be able to come out of that theater? Is my baby even okay? Will I be able to breastfeed my baby once the baby is born? Even for those going for normal delivery, you're already stressing. Now this baby is coming. How will this baby be looking? Will this baby be able to breastfeed? Will I as a mom be able to breastfeed my baby? Will I even have enough milk? You see, like you have a lot in your mind already running around. Even if you are in labor, you already have a lot in your mind running around you. So that is the sixth, that is what I can call the sixth stage of a woman's life. Now you have delivered your baby, whether through CS or through normal delivery. You get into the seventh stage of a woman's life, which is the postpartum period. Postpartum healing, postpartum changes. Let's talk of healing. There is what we call loculus, or the bleeding, the post-delivery bleeding, because it extends for some weeks, others go into even a month with the bleeding. Then let's talk of those who went for normal delivery. You're still feeling some itchiness down there. In case you had a tear, in case you had an episiotomy, healing is another process which is stressing. You are in pain. No. Talk of even CS, you have a scar, you are in pain. And here is your baby. Your baby is crying. Talk of those babies who are crying type, you have breastfed, you have changed the diapers, but there they are, they're still crying. They just want you to cuddle them. Talk of that, you're already in pain. You are so exhausted because of these stresses of carrying the pregnancy and the labor, the delivery process. You are stressed. You need some rest, but you cannot rest because you have to breastfeed your baby. Even if you have a supportive husband, you have to put your mind there when breastfeeding this baby, because you need to bond. The baby still needs to feel loved by you. They need to feel that kind of affection when they are around you. Talk of those who normally don't have enough breast milk. Now there you are, your baby is crying, you're in pain, you're stressed, you're tired, there is no breast milk, and then you feel like you are a failure. Most of moms feel like, I am a failure. This baby only depends on me. Why can't I feed? Why can't I have breast milk? And funniest thing, my fellow women, once you stress so much, that is when even the breast milk dries a lot. And that is why I myself, I am always so compassionate with women, especially also after delivery, because I know that is also a period where a woman can get some mental breakdown, and that is the time they need to be even more sober, so that we can have a good flow of the breast milk, so that she can also be able to like compassionately attend to this baby. Talk of changing the baby's diaper. Talk of you cannot be able to walk. Talk of the back pains during the postpartum period. Oh my God, you can just go insane. So all of this, the postpartum period and the healing, whether you have a scar, whether you have an episiotomy, a tear, whatever you went through, there is that healing period, almost 42 days. So that is a moment also where a woman will always be stressed. You try to relax, but at some point you even cry. Like when you just sit down and you just feel like crying, and you cry. Someone will ask you, why are you crying? You have enough breast milk, you are okay, the baby is okay, the baby is calm, the baby is sleeping, you have a very supportive spouse, but you're just crying. They can never understand. You men, you can never understand why we cry at those moments. But anyway, may God help us. Also, something I'm about to forget. Talk about when you are a new mom, not a new mom, like when you have just delivered, you're back home and you have other kids. You have other toddlers who are all around you. Now they want to call you, mommy, mommy. They want to tell you what was happening when you are in the hospital. They want you to cuddle them. They want you to tell them you love them. Even if they're not toddlers, they are a bit bigger than that, but you have other kids. So you need to take care of yourself, your body, the body changes, accept them, take care of your healing, be able to breastfeed your newborn, and also provide love and care, and also cuddle those other children. Mental health breakdown. Isn't it, women? This is the period where now you find a lot of moms getting into what we call postpartum blues or postpartum depression, because you have all of these in your mind. Remember, I've said, despite you having a very supportive husband, you'll still feel a toil on you. Like, you see? So this is when a lot of women get into postpartum depression. But my fellow women, after watching these, I hope now you won't get yourself into postpartum depression, because these are like natural processes. Let us always try to get everything positive within ourselves. Like when you see something, when you're experiencing something, can you put in your mind that oh, I'm gonna make this. I am a woman. I have to be strong. I have to get out of this victorious. I love myself. Whatever is happening to me, I don't care. I will forever love myself because I'm doing this. I am passing through all this. I am a victorious woman. Get to love yourself more so that you can prevent yourself from getting into some mental breakdown. So once you have raised your baby, then the cycle repeats itself from the fourth stage, which was family planning. Now you start another journey of, like, your life goes back to where you're coming from. You now start doing family planning because you want to have some time, some space for you to take care of yourself, to for this baby at least to get to 3 years. Yeah. So family planning, then from family planning for like 3 years, now you want to conceive again. So this cycle is repeating itself again. You get your second born, after delivering your second born, still the cycle goes back until now when you are at the menopause stage, which is our last stage. So this is yet another stage, another peak stage now, where you'll still experience some hormonal changes. Remember, in menopause, we have some hormones which are going lower or which are going down, and others will be fighting maybe to balance. So this is yet another stage where you'll still have some toil in your mental health due to these hormonal changes. For our women who are in the menopause stage, you can tell them, you can enlighten other women in the comment section how there is some burnout, some anxiety, some joint pains from nowhere, some feeling like you're just tired. Okay, so there is still hormonal changes which will also still make you feel like you're stressed, you're anxious, and everything is taking over yourself. So these, at least for those who have gotten into menopause, okay, it doesn't continue in the whole years. Let's say your menopause has started at 50 years. So maybe this will happen for like 2 years, maybe others will only experience that in 1 year. So maybe at 53, now now you are somehow okay. But I don't want to say that you are now okay and you're healed and you're happy, because now you have raised your children. Yeah, your children have even gotten married. If it's men, they have already married, they have their own families. At least you don't, at that age probably, you do not have any child around you, you do not have any baby around you to take care of and all that. Now you want to the grandchildren to be brought so that maybe you can spend some time with them. But women, at menopause, still, you should be taking care of yourself. You should be eating well. You should be like relaxing and maybe accepting your body, loving yourself, starting life now, starting to enjoy life. But women, you'll still be out there looking for like taking care, you want to take care of your children's families. Like you are worrying about what they're eating, you're worrying about where they are, you're worrying about, it's like now that motherhood, you see those, that motherhood stage when they were still babies, you are taking care of them. Now they are mature, they have their own families, they have grandchildren, but you still want to stress over them. You still want to stress yourself over them. Now, as you have seen through these cycles, you have already been stressed enough. So when you are at menopause and your hormones have stabilized, now you feel your hormones are quite stable, you feel better. Can you now take care of yourself, mummies? Can you not start going out if you are not going out? You're not old. You're not a grandmother for as such. Now start going out with your husband. Start doing life now. Start going for vacations. Start eating well. You are alone in that house. You only have you and your husband. Can you try to cook something better? Can you not try to eat those meals like you are eating because you didn't have money because you are raising us? Can you now start taking care of yourself? Can you now start taking care of your body? Can you now start thanking yourself for the great journey, for the great milestones that you have achieved, for all those those 8 cycles? Can you now start loving yourself more? Can you start encouraging other women? Don't be that woman who will always point out problems. You see your daughter-in-law or your child who is married, like maybe going through something, you forget that you are also at that stage. You see her not going to work because she's heavily pregnant and she's not okay. You forget that one day you also didn't go to work because you are pregnant with her and someone else took care of you. We now try at that stage of life? You are now, at least you are now better off. You're not thinking about a lot of things. Can you now can you now start caring up when you see, even if it's not your own child, it's your neighbor, it's your niece, can you now start spreading love? Let not the grandchildren be the only ones to feel that love. Let us also, we who are mature women, at least when you see us like passing through a lot, can you not um put us down? Can you be our source of hope, our source of love, our source of affection, and our source of like encouragement? Can you encourage us? Oh, you're going through this. But remember, even me, there was a point, there was a time I was feeling the same way you're feeling. You can just try to do this, you're gonna get through this, and all that, and all that. So, guys, this is all about our first episode of trying to understand the mental health of women and the mental health stages and cycles of life, and how hormonal changes always affect our mental health as women. And I hope at this point now, you as a man who is watching this, I hope at this point you have understood why your woman has been behaving the way she's behaving, has been having all these changes. The woman that you married is not the woman that she is right now. I hope by this point you have understood the reason why. And to all the women who have watched this, I hope at this point now you know that you should even love yourself more. You should appreciate yourself more, because these stages were not easy to pass through. But you made it. That is why you are here. That is why you're watching this. Can you smile? Because you are loved. I love you. And I want to encourage you that you're just great. You're just great. And because we are still recycling, going back to this process and repeating these processes in our lives until we get to menopause, we shall walk through this together. So share this video to a lot of women that as you can, and also to men, so that men get to also understand the life cycle of us women. So until the second episode of our woman to woman talk with me, Shironas, please love yourself more and take care of your mental health.